Alright, hey guys, how's it going? Doing another profile today. We got another Pokemon deck, this time expanded, which is one of my favorites, obviously, because I played around this time, which is XY era and incorporating new stuff now. But one of my favorite decks that I played, which was Zoroark Break. So I built it again, and let's get into it. Now there are some cards that I ordered, and I'll explain what they didn't come and what I'm gonna kind of do about it, and just a basic scheme of what you can change about it. But let's get into it. So first of all, we got 4 Zora. It doesn't really matter what Zora you play. I just chose this one because I found I had it. You can play anything you want. But the Zoroark that you want to play is this one, especially for this variant, and you want to play 4 of it. The good old one from Breakthrough. This card is mainly Mind Jack's a decent attack for a DCE that does 30 damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, plus 10. So a max of 130. No, 160 without any additions, because 30, 60, 90, yeah, 160 just by itself if your opponent has a full bench, which isn't too bad. But its ability Stand In, which is really important. Once per turn before you attack, if this Pokemon is on your bench, you may switch this Pokemon with your active Pokemon, which is really good. And of course, we got 3 of the breaks. The break has 40 HP, which is really low, but it is also one prize attacker, and its attack Foul Play is really good. Just show it off real quick. Basically, for 1 Dark Energy, it copies your opponent's active Pokemon, one of their attacks, and it does it for the 1 Dark Energy. So like you can use their GX attack and stuff like that. It's really good. Against certain things, but then again, certain decks it just does nothing. Like one of the decks I profiled earlier on the channel, Shadow Rider Clerics. You can't really copy its attacks because it does nothing. So certain decks it doesn't do much, and we have ways of getting ways to different attackers for matchups like that. One of the really good cards to start off with is your 3 one of your Tapu Kokos with a Flying Flip for a DCE. The reason why is, in case you could probably infer, but Tapu Koko is good because it does 20 everywhere, and since your Zoroark's hitting for a max of 160, usually around 100 on most cases, the Flying Flip just puts extra damage everywhere to ensure you get knockouts easier. So that's the main reason why, honestly. Then we got 1 Vulpix and 1 Oranguru. Oranguru is pretty good. Vulpix is worst comes to worst. You can use it. Honestly, the beacon for free is really nice, but I'd rather start with the Tapu Koko. So honestly, I'm probably going to get rid of the Vulpix and another supporter for a couple of cards I ordered, and we'll go over it. I had an odd number of cards because the list was a little bit different because I didn't want to buy muscle bands, and I'll explain that more later. Besides the factor of $3 common for some reason. But other than that, I got 1 Yveltal EX in here for now. I did order a second one coming in, which would probably be placed by the Vulpix. And the main reason is because for a Dark and a Colorless, you get Evil Ball, which it does 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. The reason why is obviously because it's a 2-prize attacker, but it's another attacker that does it. So if you attach a Dark and a DCE, you're doing a base of, just by yourself, you're doing 80 damage. And then if you're going against Clerics, Shadow Rider, and you're doing another 80 there, so you're at 160, which is more than that's your Zoroark's base, just between the 2 attacks that you're going to get. And they're probably going to have more energy on them because they need to store it and serve builds. So it's just another way to go against energy ramp-up decks. But one of the better cards to do it is Tapu Lele. Mainly because for a DCE, you got Energy Drive that does the same thing, except you're not hitting for resistance. You won't hit for resistance or weakness. One thing, though, is Yveltal is Dark, so it pairs up better with your Reverse Valley. I did order another Tapu Lele for that same reason, because both of them are good. Because if you start with Tapu Lele, it's not the worst thing. Then I do have 1 Crobat, because I greedy and I miss Shaman, and I like cards like Shaman. We need Shaman back, boys. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll probably take out the Vulpix and a supporter for the 2 cards I mentioned, which was the Tapu Lele and the Zoroark and the Yveltal. That card probably will be Lily, even though I like Lily because draw 8 until you have 8 when you're going second. Really good, since I like going second with this deck sometimes, so I can attack with the Koku. Then we got Kukui. Just do draw 2 and it does 20 more damage, which is really nice. Your opponent's attacks, and if you have Stadium, that's an extra 30. And I don't play Choice Band obviously or any of the bands that do like to EX, GX or whatever, because this is expanded, so you can have EX, GX, Level X, Vs, VMAX, and all that stuff. So there's not really one good thing besides Muscle Band, but that's only a 20 damage increase, and it's like a $3 common for some reason, and I didn't think it was worth it in this deck for other reasons. But yeah. Then we got 2 Boss's Orders, which is basically Lysander. Well, I mean, this is Lysander, but what Lysander, the card Lysander used to be called. Then we got 3 Marnie. This is supposed to be copies of N and maybe 2 N and 1 Colorless, but I don't have those cards, and Marnie did the same thing, and I was tight on money, so I just got the Marnies. Then we got 3 Research. I'm going to keep Research at its state. So the only thing is I might cost a bus, cut the Boss Orders to 1, and these would switch out for 2N and a Colorless or 3N, just because we're an expanded, so we can take use of those broken supporters. Sorry for the cut there, guys. But yeah. Then we got into our items. One of those Field Blower, just to get rid of Poke Tools, like air balloons and stuff like that, or stadiums. 1 special charge just to get 2 of your DCE back. 1 rescue stretcher. This is really good just in case you need to add 1 Pokemon to hand. Like if you have another Zoroark on bench and you just need the break from your grave, you can just add it back, or shuffle 3. And an Ordinary Rod, which shuffles 2 Pokemon and 2 basic energy. Next we'll get into one of my favorite reasons to play Expanded, VS Seeker. This card is amazing. Put a supporter from your discard pile into your hand. So like you can run 1 of those and then use them again, which is really good. Probably could bump that up to 4. And I got 3 Quick Ball, since you're playing enough basics to make it worth it. And as well as 4 Ultra Ball, because I really like Ultra Ball as a card, and discarding 2 to add whatever is really good. And then we got Air Balloon. So this, I'm not running Choice Band in here or anything like I said, or Muscle Band for the main reason. It's because I like Air Balloon, and the reason why is because you can attach it to a Zoroark, and since this has stand-in, if you have like a Retreat 2 on board that you can't get rid of, you can just attach the Air Balloon to the Zoroark, stand in, and then retreat into something else you want. So I really like that about it, and I might change this out for Fighting Fury Belt, since we're going to have the like Tapu Koko is an attacker, as well as the Yveltal and stuff. It brings up Yveltal and Tapu Lele to 210 HP, which is pretty good, and gives them 10 more extra damage, and Tapu Koko to 150, which is really good for your basic 1 prize attacker. And that's it for the items. Oops, that went everywhere. But I wasn't really a fan of Fighting Fury Belt either, so I just stick with that for now. Next we got 1 Parallel City, mainly just to limit your opponent's Pokemon to 3 on the bench, or if you're facing against a Grass, Fire, or Water deck, you can reduce the damage taken by 20. But mainly you got Reverse Valley, which when it's facing you, this player's Dark Pokemon do 10 more damage than that player's, and now if you face it this way, this player's Metal type Pokemon attacks are reduced by 10. Next we'll get into our energy, which is 4 DCE and then 6 regular dark energy. And that would do it. That is the deck profile of my Zoroark Break deck for Pokemon Expanded. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.